courtesy of Gearbest.com. They were nice enough to send me a new set of goggles out. They've just come out into the market and they're the new Beerotor 5.8 gigahertz diversity goggles. Let's open the box and see what we have inside. So they are made by Beerotor. The manual, I'm afraid, is in Chinese, so that's not very helpful to me. But if you look on their web page, the link will be in the description below. It's all in English and you'll know what to do, and I'll run through with all the settings with you. And before I go on, I want to wish Gearbest a happy 3rd anniversary. The link in the description will be below. They're doing deals and all sorts of celebrations and discounts at the moment. So, like I said, happy 3rd anniversary to you. Right, let's open the box and see what we have inside. Now, you have the goggles inside, but you also had an accessory bag in here. But I've already tested the goggles out and I didn't want to put them back in because it's a tight squeeze and they might scratch the goggles. So I'll bring out the accessory bag and you can see what's inside it. Now let me just take everything out here and put it aside for you. There you go. Now you have one mushroom antenna, which is 4.5 dBi, which is good, and that's a SMA male connector on it, if you can see there. And you also have a patch antenna, which is 5 dBi. Okay, and you have your leads. Now they have 2 power leads. They have one power lead which has a GIST plug on it. Now they recommend that you use a 2 to 3 cell battery, but even though the voltage it can go from 7 to 23 volts, they recommend 2 to 3 cell. So if you've got a battery with a GIST on 2 cell, you can use that. Or you could use this little handy adapter that they've gave you and plug the GIST plug in, and you've got an XT60. So you can plug an XT60 battery in. Now, fortunately enough, I do use a 2200 mAh 2-cell battery on my goggles, which has an XT60 plug on it, so I have been using that to connect up to the goggles. So I got lucky there, because you do not get a battery with these goggles. That is the downside of that. Okay, and you also have an AV cable in. There is no AV out. What I have done, and what I did do, was I got my Fat Shark goggle cables and I plugged my Fat Shark AV out, and I plugged it into the Beerotor goggles like so, and switched to the AV channel, and I could see what I could see when I was flying using my Fat Shark goggles. Or you can plug it into your TV or a DVD player. I don't have a TV, I use projectors in this house, so I haven't been able to manage to plug it into anything else, but you can experiment with that yourself. And one other downfall is the goggles do not come with a DVR, so you're going to have to try and mod that yourself. Now I'm going to get the goggles out of the box here and bring them over and show you everything here. Now, on your left hand side you have your menu button and you have your search button. It is an automatic search, which is good. On your right hand side you have your channel button and your band button. You have your R2 for your antenna. your second antenna, and your R1 for your first antenna. You put your patch antenna on the R1 and your mushroom antenna on the R2. You can also, well, I'll go through that with you later. Right, I'm going to skip that part. Where you plug in the main power lead is, let me get the power lead back here. Where did you hide? The power lead itself plugs in right here, and the video input plugs in right beside that. Now, it's good that you have this extension lead. Now, you can solder up a bigger extension lead. These are quite they're really comfortable. The padding on it's really comfortable, I must admit. But what I have noticed is underneath here, you do get a little bit of leakage of light coming in. If you get a nose like Pinocchio, you'll be fine. But if you don't like me, you're going to need to put a little bit of foam here. Okay, now on to more specifications of these goggles. Now the goggles themselves are a 5-inch screen, and the screen resolution is 800 by 480, and it runs at 16.9 aspect ratio. Okay, it does switch automatically between NTSC and PAL, so you don't need to worry if you buy a PAL or NTSC camera. Okay, and like I said, the voltage is between 7 and 23, but like they say, 2-cell recommendation. You can go as high as you want on the MA, but they do say that if you have a 2-cell battery running it to 2200 mAh, it should last 7 hours. Now, I don't know about that, but anyway, we would need to test that and see if that is true. Now, let's get on to the weight and measurements. Let me get my scale out. I'm going to compare this to my Fat Shark goggles on the weight side. Let's have a look at the weight. Now, the weight is 22 grams exactly. Okay, on those goggles. Like I said, they're very small and light. Now, if I was to put my Fat Shark goggles on here, what are they going to weigh in at? 20 grams, 20.6. So there's really nothing in it at all, and my Fat Shark goggles do have diversity as well. So these goggles are really, really light. They're even lighter than the Fat Shark goggles. That's where the antenna's on, of course. Now let's go to the measurements, shall we? I'm going to use a ruler instead of the measuring gauge. Now, on the width, wrong side. On the width, ooh, you get stuck in there. On the width, we have 130 millimeters. On the length, you have approximately 150 millimeters, and we'll measure it just at the top here where they go on to your face. I'd say about 145 millimeters. Okay, so they are really small if you were to compare them up against the Fat Shark goggles, and they are lighter. Now, are they any good? Because you do not get a battery, and you do not get DVR with it. Now, I've done a video already, and I can tell you that they are pretty good. Pretty good. They're really good. Well, I'll let you be the judge of that when the flight video comes up. I've tried to use these because it's a screen, a 5-inch screen. I've never used a screen goggle before. When I got into the FPV hobby, I started off with the Fat Shark goggles, and that was just over a year ago. I tried to use these, and I felt like the screen was too close to my eyes. You know, and I couldn't, I found it really hard to concentrate. and fly, so I wouldn't use these personally. But people that are used to these types of goggles, they're light and their diversity, and we'll go through the menus in a minute and you can have a look at the menus, but they're really good goggles. Now, have I missed anything on the spec side? No, I have not. So we will go on to the menus. Now I'm just going to cut the video here and get everything set up. It's going to be a bit difficult because I'm going to have to line my camera up into the goggles themselves and go through the menus with you, okay? Right, I'll be right back. That's me got everything hooked up nicely now. I'm running it on a 2-cell battery, and holy Batman, if you can see here, top left hand side of the screen you can see your don't do this to me please, stay on focus. Top left hand side of the screen you can see the signal strength, and it also shows you the diversity, that we're running diversity, and it's channel F. And if I press the menu button, what it will do is it will switch onto a single antenna. It's on the A antenna. I can't remember if that's the left one or the right one. So you don't have to run this in diversity at all. You can pick and choose what antenna if you only want to use the one antenna. So now we can switch over to the B, on to the second antenna, and if you press the menu button again, you have your AV input, which I do not have anything plugged into the AV at the moment. Okay, so I'll switch it back to diversity. Now next to the menu button you have your auto search, so if I was just to press the button once, it's going to start. Let me just press it again. Start searching for you, and there you have it. It's found the picture. Now on the right hand side you can see I'm going to switch the bands. It's switching bands. You can see on the top left hand corner, so we're on band A. Come on, focus in for me. This is really difficult to do. Right, and next to the band button you have your channel selection, and you can see that it's switching channels there until we come back to our original picture. Thank you very much for focusing in. You don't like me being over that way, do you? Right, and there you have it. Like I said, the screen resolution is 800 by 480, and it is a 16.9 aspect ratio, and it's a 5-inch screen. It's a really nice colored screen. I mean, you can't see it for yourself, only I can, but there is no brightness button or contrast button. That is another downfall, I would say. So you can't adjust the brightness, and you can't adjust how close or how far away the screen is to you, and I think personally the screen is too close for me. Now let me just unplug this because the VTX will be getting hot from my little micro quadcopter, which has been showing you the picture from a 600 TVL camera. Now these goggles are really good. They are £86 on Gearbest.com. The link will be in the description below. Batteries for the goggles, 2200 mAh 2-cell batteries from Gearbest. Will also be in the link in the description. Or you can get the nanotech, and I'll put that in the link as well. But now you can see some footage of it. What I had done was I had used my own goggles to fly, and I got my wife to hold the camera up to the goggles to try and get a picture. So we were running two sets of goggles at one time. Now I'm going to put both of the videos beside each other, and you can see how good these really are comparing to the Fat Shark with the Fat Shark diversity module in it. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Gearbest, for sending me these out. And go on, hop over there because it's the 3rd anniversary, like I said. And as always, my friends, happy flying.